Hi, my name is Momchilo and this is a tutorial for TubeTape.com. I will be showing you how I made my Man of Steel entry for the TubeTape's green screen contest. Let's go to the scene 1. As you can see, I already pre-comped the footage and just scaled it down so it looks like I'm far away. Go into the comp and let's start erasing the green screen. First of all, I will make a garbage matte. That is when you go frame by frame and just delete everything that is not a green screen. And since this is an online tutorial, I don't want to spend half an hour cutting me out, so I'll just use this one I already made. Okay, let's apply Keylight to this. Type Keylight. Keylight is a plugin for green screen removal that comes from Foundry, and it comes with After Effects installation. Basically, you just click the toner, or I don't know how to call it, color picker. Oh yeah, color picker, and press it on the green screen. Go inside the screen matte and clip the blacks, clip the whites, and play with the settings a bit more, and you will have this as a result. Since I didn't have a bigger green screen, I couldn't stand on it, and I will not be rotoscoping my feet. We will just put me on the other side of the mountain. Okay, first let's import the background image. Okay, let's zoom in a bit. Duplicate the background layer, put it on top of the footage, and just mask out a part of the landscape. Okay, this is enough. So now it looks like I'm in the distance. Okay, this looks cool. Next thing, let's add a new solid, call it OF as optical flares. Type here optical flares. Set the transfer mode to add, put it on top of the sun, and we'll go to options. I'll clear all, and I'll be using this Antique Digital. Yeah, that looks cool. Lower the brightness to 50%, scale to 50, and I'll add a fast blur. Maybe increase the brightness. Okay, that's cool. Okay. For some reason, flare is not on top. Oh, it is. It's just really blurred. Ah, okay. This looks cool. Next, I'll import the Action Essentials 2 Atmosphere effect on top. I'll lower it. Press P for position. I'll add curves. I'll set the transfer mode to screen. I'll go into the blue channel and I'll increase the blue and decrease the red. Next, press T on the keyboard and lower the opacity to, let's say, 40%. And just move this. Okay, that looks cool. The final thing, let's duplicate the footage, add a fill effect, fill it with black, actually no, with a bluish black. Press T for opacity and just put it up at 30%. Yeah, that looks cool and real. Save the project file and go to the next shot. Okay, as you can see, I did the garbage band here also. So let's go in here and add a key light. Color picker and press the green screen. And if you have a properly lit green screen, it will do the perfect job as soon as you click it. So this already looks cool. I can see my hair is keyed out perfectly, my cape is good, but change this from final result to this green matte. As you can see, we need to get rid of these whites and these blacks. Go to the screen matte and clip the blacks, clip the whites, and this looks cool. Change to final result, and as you can see, this is already looking really good with the really clean edges. Maybe, okay, let's do one more thing. We'll shrink the edges for -2, and that looks cool. Okay, now let's import our background. Press S for scale, and I'll scale it, and I'll just press Ctrl K and just change this to 800. That's cool. Okay, I need to track the background. I'll do that by duplicating the, actually no, I'll go here and I'll copy this footage. I'll paste it here. No, actually I'll leave it here. Duplicate this, solo it, delete the key light, and press M for mask and delete the mask. Now we'll go right click and track camera. Actually no, sorry. Right click and track motion. It's here. Okay, I'll put it on my tracker that I glued onto the green screen, and I'll just press track forward. I'll make a new null object. I'll call it track, and I'll edit the target to the track. Okay, apply X and Y. Okay, I can close this. Now, as you can see, I have a perfectly tracked tracker. Unsolo this, delete this, copy the track or cut. Go to the final, paste it here, and use the pick whip to pick whip the tracker. Now the background moves as it should. Awesome. But what made this clip awesome is that I used a color correction and light wrap to make it look realistic as possible. We'll do that by using curves in the footage, and I'll just lower the shadows, increase the highlights, decrease the reds, and increase the blues. We want to get the bluish look like from the background. Next we'll add a tint effect. We'll tint it to white for 30%. And as you can see, this looks cool, but we need to add a light wrap to make it look realistic. Okay, duplicate this footage, delete the curves and delete the tint. We'll add a set channels effect and just set all the sources to the background layer. Background, background, background. Now basically this is what we're doing, is making an alpha channel from the footage we have. Next we'll add a fast blur, then we'll invert the alpha, and we'll use CC Composite stencil alpha to cut the lines from the footage. As you can see, now what this effect does is it takes the background light and makes an inner shadow with the same colors. Now, as you can see, there is much more difference here, but we'll put this to screen and we'll play with the fast blur amount, and this looks cool. Let's see before and after. You can see the light surrounding the footage, and that is what makes it so realistic. Next, let's add a new null object, put it over here, add a new light. Okay, press P for position for the null. We'll call the null OF pose as position, and we'll just make it a 3D layer. Alt stopwatch the light, pick whip the position of the null object, and now when we move the light, the null, the light moves with it. Now pick whip the position of this to the track, and we have a null object and a light that is following the background. Add a new layer, call it OF as optical flares, type optical flares, set the blending mode to screen, and we'll alt click the stopwatch and we'll pick whip the, we'll use the track lights, that's why we made light, and we'll increase the light. Okay, let's move the position of the light, something like this. Go to options and clear all, add a single object and lower the, put this to around 600. That looks cool, and let's play with this a bit. Let's duplicate this. No, that's too much. Maybe lower the opacity. No, maybe normal. Yeah, this looks cool. Oh, let's just change the background position to this, so we don't see that big ugly line. Okay, pretty easy, right? So we have the background, we have the green screen element, we have the color corrected footage, and we have the light wrap, and we have the optical flare. Easy. Let's go save and go to the scene 3. Okay, I just rotated a bit and I tracked it so we don't spend more time on it. Okay, go into the footage and use the key light. As you can see, it's perfect. And just let's key out this part that we don't like, put to subtract. Awesome. Oh, and this. Nice. Change from final result to screen matte and play with clip whites and clip blacks. Clip white. Change back to final result. Shrink the footage for 2, and that's awesome. let's import the background. We'll import the background one. Yeah. Scale it a bunch and rotate it. Ctrl K, change this to 800. And this looks cool. Now go back to the second scene and just copy the values. Oh, okay, here it is. Copy the color correction. We want to have the same color correction throughout the whole video, but not here to here. No, sorry, yeah, here. Next, we'll duplicate this to make the light wrap. So we go and set the channels to the background. We blur the edges. Then we clip the edges by inverting the alpha, and use CC Composite to use the alpha from the main footage to cut the lines. Awesome. And it just put it to screen, and maybe lower the opacity a bit, 70. Yeah, that looks super cool. Okay, you see how fast this is going? It's relatively easy. There's just a couple of steps you need to follow. Track the footage, remove the green screen, apply the color correction, add the light wrap, and maybe add a final color correction on top of it. So okay, save the project file and go into the fourth scene. Okay, this scene is a bit more complicated, so we'll take it a bit slower. Save. Okay, first thing, right click and go track camera, and we'll click analyze. This is a new 3D camera tracker from After Effects CS6, and it tracks the whole 3D environment and makes it in After Effects. Okay, and it's done. As you can see, we have a bunch of 3D points that we are going to use. Okay, let's select a bunch of points like this and go right click, create solid, and the camera. Now we'll go to layer, solid settings, and increase the size of this solid to 1000 by 1000. Next, we'll increase the size and we'll use the mask tool to mask it out. Whoops, what did I do? What did I do? Okay, press M to select the mask. Press F to feather it, and now I'll use a fractal noise to simulate the ice. First of all, let's go to solid settings and change back this to white. Okay, change the mode to screen, add a bit of contrast, change the opacity, and maybe put it to add. Yeah. Oops, sorry, my screen recording software just crashed, and fortunately I was able to get it back up and running. Okay, as you can see, this is perfectly tracked, and that was one click with the camera tracker that's built in inside the After Effects. So let's just go again to the tracker and just select points here, right click and create solid, increase the size, add a mask, feather it, decrease, and copy the fractal noise, change back to add, and put the color to white and the opacity to 56. Okay, what I did in the original video, I did add a more ice up here, but hey, you have the idea how I made this, so let's continue. Save it, and now let's create particles. We'll add a new solid, call it particles, make it comp size, and add particular. Change the emitter from point to box and increase the size to something like this. Okay, change the velocity from 100 to 0. And now change the position to the hand. Okay. Next, go to physics and change the gravity to -50. Yeah, awesome. And maybe we'll rotate the world. Yeah. And increase the size of Z and X. So now we have a particles going up. Awesome. Okay, let's play with the particles a bit. We'll change the light from 3 to 5 seconds, size to 2, size random to 100, and particles per second a bunch. Opacity random to 100, and yeah, that's it. I'll put the mode to add or screen. Yeah, screen is good. Maybe we'll change the particle color to bluish. Yeah, duplicate it, add a fast blur, blur it and put it to add. Okay, that's cool. But what we are going to do is no, actually this is cool. I actually like this. Yeah. So now go back to the tracker and select these points around the hand. What? Okay, let's select this. Actually just select this and say create null. Ah, great. Add a new solid that is white, that is 3D. Add a circle effect and just alt click the center and pick whip the whoops. Press tilde to no. This is why we save. Okay, close the program and reopen the After Effects. And as you can see, we lost all of our particle work, and I'll just pause the recording while I make that. Okay, I made the particles. I'll save the project file. I already saved it, so it's okay. Okay, now let's go back to the tracker, select this point and add a null object. Now press F4 to toggle the switches, and it's already 3D, so I'll make a new light and I'll just use the position of the null for the position of the light. And now I don't need this track anymore. Couldn't find, oh god, yeah, position, copy the position and delete it. For some reason I just realized there is no ice. It's black. For some reason it's black. Okay, I found the problem. Select the two layers for ice, press AA and put the accept lights to off. Okay. I'll just decrease this back to 50. This also. Okay. I'll just copy this fractal noise settings to this one. Okay, save. Okay, that's cool. Now I'll add a new solid, call it optical flares, black optical flares, and just go to layer solid settings and make it comp size. Choose the track lights, go to options, clear all, add that, put it to add, and just increase the brightness, add a fast blur. Okay, that looks cool. Save the project file, and now we'll go to the S4 final, which is this, and go to the S3 and copy the color correction, and nice. But for some reason, oh yeah, right, cut, go here, add a new adjustment layer and paste. And as you can already see, this looks really good. Maybe I'll decrease the brightness just a bit. Yeah, that looks cool. And let's set a glow. Originally I didn't add glow, but maybe it will look cool. Maybe it will not. Let's see. No. We'll delete the glow. That's cool. Okay, so let's rename this to S4 footage and make new composition. Final 2. Add a new, actually, let's add a slider. Animate it from here to here, from second number 2 to second number 5, and we'll animate it from 0 to 50, let's say. Press R, Alt click and type wiggle, let's say 5 times a second, and pick whip this value. And as you can see, this is too much. So let's type here actually 20, but press U to reveal all the animated effects you have and animate it to the 10. No. Let's try with 5. Too much. 2. Yeah, this looks cool. Add a motion tile. Increase the output width and height and mirror the edges. Turn on the motion blur and add a CC radial fast blur. Actually, I didn't use this in my original video, but it looks cool. Brightest, no, darkest, standard. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, let's go to the next scene. Scene number 5. Okay, as you can see, I have a pretty small green screen, and I ended up not using this green screen at all. I had to cut myself out. So basically what I did is I just made a new layer, and frame by frame I had to mask myself out. Now put it to alpha and we have a okay result. It will do the job because everything will be blurry. Okay, now recompose these two and call it S5 composite. Ctrl K, change to 800. And we'll increase the size of me. We'll add a background. And this looks cool. Okay, go back to the scene 3, copy the color correction, add it to the composite. Yeah, cool. Now let's go and add a dust at cam. When I jump, this should fly out. Nice. Fit the comp, change the mode to screen, add a tint effect, change the opacity a bit. Okay, cool. Now let's add particles, transform, fit the comp, change the mode to add, duplicate, no, actually this is cool. So we have a lot of particles flying out. We'll add a new OF layer. We'll put it over here, increase the size, add a fast blur, and put the mode to add. And we'll also add the light wrap. So we add the set channels to the background, background, background. But as you can see, we need to pre-compose the background and move all attributes to the another composition. I'll reset this and I'll add it again. Okay, I'll add a fast blur, invert the alpha, CC composite, put to add. Okay, now go back to the folder and make a new composition with this, and press P for position and just go frame by frame. Since it's 8 frames only, you need to make it shake. Add a fast blur, motion blur, and add motion tile here. Output fit, output height, mirror edges. And as you can see, we made this relatively fast and easy, and it looks cool. So save, and let's go to the final scene. As you can see, I had to do the same thing with this since my green screen was too small, and I had to make a mask. So same process, call this S6 composite, and we'll add a seamless crack texture. We'll increase it, and we'll add a snow background, which I downloaded from Google. Yeah, here it is. Put this to multiply and add curves. Something like this. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, that's good. Now just reposition it to something like this, and just lower the scale me down. Scale. Let's put me over here. Press F4, make me a 3D layer, and we'll change the position to something really big. Turn on the motion blur, and we have the jump. Maybe we'll even rotate me on the Z-axis like this. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Now when I jump, we need to reveal the crack. So select the ice, pre-compose it, and add a circle effect. Center should be my body, and change the radius from 0 to something like this, and I change the feather and put it to stencil alpha. Again, change the mode to multiply. Now when I jump, the ground cracks. Awesome. Oh, okay. Let's scale down the snow texture and add a motion tile. Expand the edges. Okay, that looks cool. Okay, let's add a new solid and call it explosion. Add a circle effect. Whoa. Again, center to my body, and we'll just increase the radius, something like this. Change the mode to thickness, feather, put it to add, and this is okay. And animate the radius from this to this, exactly like from the trailer. 10, no, 13, yeah. Next, we'll add a new particular layer. and we change the emitter from point to box. Something like this. That's cool. Particle to life to, let's say 5 seconds, size 2, no, size 4, okay. Opacity to random and velocity to 0. And now let's go to the aux system, or physics, I believe. Physics air and spherical field. Yeah, let's change the spherical field to my body again. And just animate the strength from 0 to 100, but the radius to something huge. So I don't know if you can see this on YouTube, but all the particles are running away from me when I jump, and that is exactly what we want. Let's save this, add a new adjustment layer, and again copy the color correction. Cool, but I'll darken it a bit more, I believe. Yeah. Save, Ctrl K, change size to 800. Okay, awesome. Go back to the scene 6, copy the final, and again press P, and frame by frame animate the position. Turn on the motion blur, add a motion tile, expand output width and height, and we have a flight. Let's save this, go to the final, and we have a completed video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and hopefully learned something. It's a pretty easy job to do a quality green screen work with a regular green screen from TubeTape.com. So let's do that again. Okay, track the footage, green screen the main footage, add a light wrap, add a color correction, add a global color correction, and that's it. I hope you will make something cool. I really enjoyed this. I'm sorry for my English. Hopefully in time I'll get better at it. So thanks again to TubeTape.com for making this contest, and I'll see you. Bye bye.